Welcome back, lads. Got a little rum flake in the old Savinelli there. So I wanted to do another pipe talk with you, and we're going back to fundamentals this time. We're going to talk about packing, how to pack the bowl, because that's something that you're confronted with when you buy your pipe, you buy your first pipe and you buy some tobacco. The first thing you're confronted with before you can smoke the thing is, how do I pack the bowl? And it turns out that it's not really as simple as just stuffing leaf in there, right? Essentially, when you come to packing, the maxim to keep in mind is tighter up top and looser towards the bottom. And I want to show you how I pack a bowl myself with both flake and ribbon cut. I want to show you a little bit of the mechanics of an ideally packed bowl, and let's go through it together, lads. Okay, lads, so we're going to go over packing flake and ribbon cut. I've got a couple of blends that I like in flake, Best Brown Flake and Commonwealth mixture. So let's start with ribbon first, okay? So I'm going to pack up my little GQ Merlot Billiard with some ribbon. Okay. So the first thing is to create that loose and airy bottom. So I'm going to take a little bit out. Basically, I want to gravity fill the bowl, right? Meaning just drop it in and let it do its thing. Okay. So I'm just going to drop it in. And I'm going to cheat a little and apply some very light pressure. Very light. Okay, so now it's full to the rim with very loosely packed tobacco. Okay, now the next thing I do is I want to create that tighter packed bottom. So I'm going to take a pinch of the ribbon, right? And in my fingers, I'm going to squeeze into a plug. And then, applying the least pressure that I need to get it into the bowl, I'm going to continue to pinch it in on itself and squeeze it into the bowl. Now I can feel that that is a nicely full packed bowl. The leaf has still got a bit of spring in it. I can see it's coming back. So when I light that up, that should be good to go. It's a little bit different with flake. And this same technique, you can apply it to plug tobaccos or rope tobaccos. The only preliminary step is that you actually have to, slice the plug or slice the rope. So with the flake, I'm going to pack the old Savinelli Bing. What I want to do is tear off roughly 2 inches of flake, I would say. Then I'm going to rub it out in my palms. And what I want to do is roll it into kind of a ball and drop it down, okay? And then I'm gonna loosely tease apart the ball. Then take my pipe and I'm gonna insert the teased out flake into the ball. Now you don't want to put a lot of pressure on this. It should fit in nicely. It should just slide in nicely without too much resistance. Now, you may have a little bit left on your scraper. If not, just break off a little bit more flake. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll it back into a ball. But this time, just like with the ribbon, I'm going to keep that plug pinched together. And this is the tightly packed top of the part at the top. And just like with the ribbon, using the least amount that I need to press it into the ball, I'm going to squeeze it in on itself, working around the ball and press it in. And just like before, I can see that the tobacco is still springing back, but it feels like it's nicely packed, so that's a good sign. So that is how I pack with both ribbon and flake tobaccos. Alright lads, so this is what your ideally packed pipe is going to look like. This is a cross section of a filled pipe. So the cross hatching represents the tobacco. So up at the top of the pipe, you've got more dense cross hatching, okay, and less air. If you imagine the black space is the air, less air between the tobacco. And lower down the pipe, you've got less denser packing, more air. So the reason for this, the reason why you want this as an ideal is so up top you've got less air and more dense packing. That means a slower and a cooler burn, and it also means that the leaf is in contact with each other, so it's going to maintain that continuous burn. Now down below here it's more airy and loosely packed. That allows the smoke to pass through and enter the draft hole, which will be about here, meaning that you can actually get the smoke. Okay, so obviously as you burn the tobacco and smoke your pipe, the tobacco from the top is going to burn away. So then you're left with this problem where you have all this loose tobacco at the top. Loosely packed tobacco is not a good smoke. There's too much air in between it, which means it burns much more quickly. It burns faster and hotter, making a quick and a uncomfortable bitey smoke. And also the leaf isn't very in contact with each other, so it burns out quickly. So this is when tamping comes in. So you want to take your tamper, and instead of just tamping straight down, ramming it down, that's just going to compress everything. What you do is you go in from the sides and you tamp from the side inward to the center, and you would do that all the way around the bowl. And by packing the leaf back in on itself from the side, what that does is it recreates the bowl that you began with by compressing the leaf in on itself and creating that thicker, more densely packed leaf at the top with the loose leaf remaining at the bottom, so that you can still get the smoke. So you basically, every time you tamp, you're recreating that ideally packed bowl that you began with. So that's the science of it, brothers. I've showed you how I pack a ball, and I've showed you the mechanics of how it works, including tamping. The maxim always, like I said at the beginning, the maxim to keep in mind is loose and airy at the bottom, tight and dense at the top. And if you keep that in mind, that should work for you. Now, I've showed you the way I pack. There are different ways to pack. And frankly, I think what you're going to find is that you have a look at these different techniques and you try them out, trial and error, and you're probably going to come to your own kind of method, and that's perfectly fine, because the aim of the game with smoking a pipe is relaxation and enjoyment. So you find the way that you enjoy packing a ball using, a little bit of help from others, and you find your own way, and most of all, make sure you're enjoying your smokes. So I hope that helped, and thanks for watching, bros. Take it easy. God bless.